Hi guys, welcome into Case by Case. This is Casey and this is season 1 episode 4 review of 1,000 Pound Roomies. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for returning. And then if you are new here, welcome in. Don't be afraid to like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this review. Okay, so we pick up where we left off in episode 3, and Jazz finally made it to the emergency room. Okay, and then once the doctor finally sees her, she gets diagnosed with malnutrition and arthritis in her knee. A few hours later, she gets discharged with a prescription for some pain meds. So it was just as Dr. Nori had suspected. She lost muscle mass from taking the weight loss shot. On the car ride home, Jazz explains how she's just really afraid of her body breaking down, and then also she's afraid of if she stops taking the shots that she won't be approved for weight loss surgery. And then Nisha replies to her pretty much saying, maybe it is time for you to take your doctor's recommendations, Dr. Nori, and stop taking the weight loss shot. And then Nisha says that she felt like the shot was already bad because it was affecting her mood. Like Jazz had been a lot more sad and depressed, and now it's affecting her arm. She has arm pain, her legs, and then her mobility. And then in Nisha's opinion, she feels like the shot has done like permanent damage to Jazz, both physically and mentally. What was crazy to me was after all of this, Jazz is like still reluctant to stop taking the shots. She thinks that without the shot, she won't be able to like lose weight naturally. And so she wants to continue taking the shots against her doctor's recommendation. Okay, and then so after that, the next scene, Nisha meets up with Bree. She meets up with her enabler, Bree. And so, of course, they meet up to get food. It was a food truck. And then Nisha ordered rice, udon, steak, shrimp, chicken, and then extra garlic butter. And then Bree said, I'll take the same. And so they got the same thing. And then while they were waiting on their food, they were talking. Just a quick note, Nisha does look cute. I really like her hairstyle. It's like a bun. I'll insert a picture up here too. It was like a bun with like butterfly clips. It was super cute. I think I will try to recreate that. It was really nice and cute. Oh yeah, one thing Nisha did say, like in the confessional, she said she feels guilty eating whatever she wants to eat around Jazz, and so whenever she like wants to eat whatever, she calls up Bree, her enabler, and they meet up and eat together. But while they were waiting for their food, they started talking. And Nisha starts talking about the birthday plans for her and Jazz. They are actually going to go camping. She's planned a camping trip pretty much to lift Jazz's spirits. And so, because Nisha, she doesn't like camping, but she knows that Jazz likes camping, and she used to do it when she was younger with her family. And so they'll be heading to a cabin in Big Bear. And I didn't know this, but their birthdays are only one day apart, Jazz and Nisha. So they're like super close. Then the food does come out. The guy who prepared the food, he walked the food over to them. And then they open it up, and it does look good. It looks really good. It actually looks like hibachi food. It looks super good. And then after they get their food, they switch topics. And then Bree asked Nisha about updates on her dating profile.
Listen, this garlic butter is hitting for sure.
I don't even need no sauce.
So let's talk about the last time I checked, we had made a dating profile. So what's going on with that? We got some matches on there.
I don't need no man. I just need this plate.
Okay, yes, but the plate is not going to keep you warm at night, so.
It's keeping me warm right now.
And Nisha says she don't need no man. All she needs is this plate. Okay, and just some thoughts about this scene. So I think that Nisha is correct in saying that, I don't know if this is what she actually meant, but I think that she is correct in the sense that you don't need a man to be whole. You should be fine just as yourself, as a whole person, you don't need a man, you don't need a relationship. But also, on the other hand, she's wrong in the sense that she's swapping out like the warmth and comfort that she gets and the love that she receives from a relationship and a man with food. And so she's getting that warmth and comfort from food. And so, yeah, that is toxic. But if I'm being honest, I can relate to this. I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. It's like a certain level of delusion for sure. Delusions of grandeur. It is absolutely normal. In fact, it's human nature to want to be loved and to want to be held and, to want to be happy and in a relationship with someone. And honestly, if I could go back and talk to myself, talk to me at 21 years old, I would tell myself that it's okay to admit that to myself. It's okay to be honest with yourself because I sounded the same way, like so delusional, like how Nisha sounds right now. I sounded delusional. At 21, I was this person. Like it is what it is. I was this person. I was. It's me and Jesus until the wheels fall off. Like I don't need no man. Jesus is my man. I was going around saying that. It sounds so stupid. Like shut up. Like girl, shut up. Shut up. And if this is you, shut up. Don't nobody want to hear that. Because the truth of the matter is, you sitting up there lying to yourself, and everybody knows it.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
And if I was being honest with myself, I would have said, yeah, I love him and I want to be with him, but he not acting right now. And so I got to put me first. Like, I got to respect myself enough to keep it pushing. And so that's just the honest answer instead of, being delusional.
I got to put me first. I got to put me first. I got to put me first, Lucian.
Like, just be real with yourself. Life is too short to be sitting up here lying to yourself. Nisha knows that she wants to be loved, and more specifically, she wants to be loved by Joel. And it's okay to admit that to yourself. But at the same time, like, respect yourself enough to set boundaries and then also stick to those boundaries. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting love and to be loved and expressing that. It's just finding the right love, being loved the correct way.
Someone to kiss, someone to miss. When you're away through here, gone each day. To be loved, wow, what a feeling, to be loved.
But anyways, I digress. I didn't went on a whole tangent. So Nisha said that her DMs were flooded on her dating profile. And funny enough, Joel popped up on her dating profile. And he actually started questioning her, like what's she doing and why she doing it for. And Nisha said that this is a pattern with Joel. Like anytime she'll post things on her socials or whatever and start getting love and comments and things, he'll pop up. And so this is a pattern with him. And then here's the kicker. He actually asked Nisha out on a date after seeing her dating profile. And so Bree was like, okay, so after 20 years, he's finally asked you out on a date. Bree said she doesn't think that his intentions are pure. And I have to agree, it seems very disingenuous. Because you had me 20 years and you could have been took me out on a date. And now you want to take me out on a date because you see other people want to be with me? Okay. So Joel doesn't want to be in a committed relationship with her, but he also doesn't want to see her move on and be happy with somebody else. He's very selfish. And then Nisha asked Bree, should I be flattered or should I be insulted? You should be insulted. And then Bree said, it's not like you want to go on this date, which is crazy. And then Nisha says that she does actually want to go on a date. She feels like it'll be a great opportunity for them to talk and actually see where they stand, whether that's a continued friendship or if they are going to actually be exclusive for once. Next scene, Jazz weighs herself. She does like a check-in, and she is currently 547 pounds. Now she has 47 pounds left to lose in order to be approved for weight loss surgery. And she is actually still taking this weight loss shot at this point, and she's still not feeling good, of course, because of the weight loss shot. And now she is actually trying to like meet her protein levels and eat more food so she can continue taking this shot. Okay, and then the next scene, Nisha meets Joe at a restaurant for their date. This restaurant looks very casual, and Nisha says that she wish Joe would have just picked a nicer restaurant, because what Joe did at this casual restaurant, he brought like a blue tablecloth. He brought like a blue tablecloth, a candle, and some flowers. And so he tried to like fancy up like the casual restaurant. And she said she would have rather just went to a fancy restaurant instead of him doing all that at the casual restaurant, which I get. It's different. It was empty though. Nobody was in that restaurant. I feel like that's probably why he chose that restaurant, because it was empty. Okay, and then Nisha gets straight to the nitty gritty, and I appreciate this. She asks, so why after 20 years you finally invite me out for a date? And he answered, I don't know. No time like the present, right? Might as well give it a shot. And Nisha just say it straight out. She gets right to the point. She says, I want to be exclusive with you. I want to go on more dates. And then Joel says, what do you mean you want to be exclusive? I thought we had a good thing going. And then Nisha, she's like starting to get upset. She was like, I don't understand. Like, why would you invite me out on a date if you're not trying to go like the more exclusive route? And then he said pretty much that he's not trying to put a title on it, and he just wanted to go out on a date kind of like as friends. And so, yeah, Nisha's upset at this point. But she got her answer, and so that's that. This was very hard to watch because that man was playing in her face. Nisha told Jazz about the date, and Jazz didn't seem surprised. I don't think any of us are surprised about how it went. And so, yeah. Next scene, they're loading up the van, getting ready to go to Big Bear. It's Tiffany, Artisha, and Bree that's going on the trip. Bree is joining them later. Tiffany, she has been friends with Nisha since grammar school. Artisha has been friends with Nisha since beauty school, so 15 years ago. So these are some long friendships. Okay, as they're like on the road trip, we see that the road trip is too much for Jazz. I think it's the altitude that's the problem, them going up in the mountains. She is like nauseous, and then she is in pain. Once they finally make it to Big Bear, everybody gets out of the van and starts taking all their belongings in, and Jazz stays in the van. At this point, she looks worse than before. She's just in the van, like in pain, and she's like shaking, and you can physically see her shaking. Nisha says that she's getting annoyed with Jazz at this point. Nisha feels like she's doing everything for this trip to make it a good trip, and she feels like Jazz just needs to push through what she's feeling and try to enjoy herself. In my opinion, Nisha is being insensitive. You can really tell that Jazz is going through it. And that's really insensitive to me, to tell somebody to like push through their pain. You could tell she going through it. And although I think Nisha is being insensitive in this moment, I actually can understand both sides of this situation. Like, I can understand Jazz like getting up there and not feeling well. The way she was looking, it actually reminded me of like the few times that I've gotten the flu. Like, you're perfectly fine, you're high energy, and then out of nowhere, like, you get sick, and then you're like curled up in the ball, like shaking with shivers and hot and stuff like that from the flu. And so it take you out just like that. And so I understand that. And that's the other thing, like with the flu, is like you're incapacitated. You can't move. You just like stuck in pain and just shivers, and you're hot and you're cold. And that's kind of how Jazz looked to me. And so I understand like that feeling, how she was probably feeling in that moment. But, and also, I have been the person to plan everything out. I've been the person to do all the cooking, do all the cleaning, just take all the phone calls and all the coordination and drive everybody around too, and then just to have some ungrateful joker in my face. Oh, it's getting too personal, but yeah, just to have some ungrateful joker in my face, like complaining. So I understand where Nisha is coming from as well. But anyways, you could tell some time has passed because it was dark when they got there, but it's even darker now. And Jazz is still in the van. So the friend Tiffany, she goes out to check on Jazz. Then she's like rubbing Jazz's back. And Jazz is just like so apologetic. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm ruining the trip. She's saying I'm in pain and I'm tired. And so, yeah, she's having like a breakdown in the van. And then Nisha says she doesn't want her friend to be in pain or anything, and she doesn't want to sound insensitive. I mean, she already sounds insensitive, but she doesn't want to sound insensitive. But she's annoyed with Jazz at this point. After talking to Tiffany, Jazz finally gets out of the van, and Tiffany physically like helps her get out of the van as well. And so she finally makes it to the cabin. Nisha makes dinner, and then after eating dinner, Nisha says everybody's having a good time because they was about to make some s'mores and stuff. And then Jazz was like, "Nah, I'm good. My leg is all swole up, and I'm tired and stuff." And so Nisha said everybody is having a good time, and Jazz just sitting on the couch looking miserable. Nisha said that Jazz doesn't have any energy because she's still taking that shot, which is true. Jazz is still taking the shot, and it's like draining all of her energy. Anisha is upset because she pretty much went camping. She doesn't even like camping. She went camping to lift up the spirits of Jazz, and then Jazz isn't even like enjoying it. Next morning, Nisha makes breakfast. The breakfast looks good. It's like eggs and bacon and potatoes. But she makes breakfast. Jazz barely eats breakfast. And of course, Nisha gets mad. She's just like super annoyed with Jazz at this point. Bree suggests that Nisha take a walk. And so Nisha goes on a walk with Bree and Artisha. And then Tiffany stays back with Jazz. And then, of course, on this walk, Nisha pretty much just vents about Jazz. And Nisha, she pretty much like feels overwhelmed taking care of Jazz and then still also trying to maintain her own life. And then the episode ends with Nisha like crying to her friends in the woods and saying that she's tapped out. And I will say that I feel for Nisha like in this moment because being a caretaker isn't easy. It's a lot of work and it is draining both emotionally and physically. And I will say Nisha being Jazz's caretaker is definitely putting a strain on their relationship, their friendship. And also they are like no longer in alignment. They're going in different directions. And I had a feeling that this would happen because, again, their relationship, like the foundation of their relationship was built on bonding over food. Like they bond over the burger, you know? So I had a feeling that this would happen. And to be honest, I feel like they need like a little space from each other, or that Jazz needs like an actual caretaker, like a professional, because it is putting a strain on their relationship. Yeah, I feel like they're spending too much time together. But that is all that I have for this review. Please let me know what you think down below. This was a great episode. Tell me how you liked the episode. And I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.